Great to have you back. I'm so delighted to be your guide as you continue on your way to becoming a data professional. As you've been discovering, data can be used in many ways, but no matter how it's applied, the key thing to keep in mind is that knowledge is power. The power to improve your business, your work, your personal life, and the world around you. With all of the data surrounding us, there's just so much potential waiting to be unlocked. I'm so glad that you've chosen to learn more and to be a part of it. And speaking of your learning journey, in this section of the course, we'll start by finding out more about data careers. We'll explore different industries and examine some direct applications of data-driven work. And we'll investigate where data careers are headed in the future. It's such an impactful and rewarding field, and it just keeps getting better. I'm so excited for you to get started. Let's go.
How's it going? My name is Adrian, and I'm a customer engineer at Google. A customer engineer at Google is the bridge between the technical and business components or aspects of corporate America. We help customers leverage our technology to meet their business needs. One of the most exciting projects, and even interesting, that I worked on was creating a unified patient record. And this project was for a lab diagnostics company that was really looking into creating a 360 view of a patient. Our project focused on consolidating information across different systems. You can imagine taking your lab diagnostics data for your most recent routine blood work, or even something that's a little bit more specific, a diabetes or glucagon test. Taking that and all that information that you've provided in terms of biological data, getting that centralized and standardized in one environment so that if it is your physician looking at the data or your radiologist or your nutritionist, they have a complete view of all of your data, and they can not only just access it, but they can visualize it in real time. One of the key components of this project was the use of virtual reality headsets as the main visualization component. For me, what this meant was I got the ability to do some game design, create some human skins in terms of the body, and use different colors and programming functionality to indicate, for example, if a system is looking healthy or if it's looking like it needs concern or intervention. We can see over time how the diagnostic test results have changed and the impact that this has on our patients. At the end of the day, what we had was a project that unified all of the data for the patient and gave the key medical professionals a way to visualize it. The best piece of advice that I have for you is to remain confident in yourself. While you might be new to this new role or this new company, you're coming with skills that are repeatable, that are transferable, whether it be the way that you approach and problem solve, whether it be the rapport you're able to build with your stakeholders and the soft skills and ensuring that you can build those relationships, or even when it comes to communication and writing a succinct and concise email. There are going to be ways where you're going to take what you've done before and apply them in your new role. You might have to think outside of the box, but you'll get there.
Data professionals are so valuable to their companies. They determine which data streams are most important to specific business projects, challenges, and initiatives. They identify key goals for the future, and they give their organizations the ability to take meaningful action by reimagining processes and improving operations. To do all of this, data teams require individuals with diverse skills, knowledge, and interests. Therefore, there are countless different data-focused roles, responsibilities, and project types, which are further differentiated by the industries and businesses they support. Among all of these possibilities, data careers can be loosely categorized into two complementary types of work: technical and strategic. In this video, we'll investigate both. First, let's find out about the folks whose work requires a heavy emphasis on technical skills. Some examples of these professionals are machine learning engineers and statisticians. These people provide high-effort solutions to specific problems. Through their expertise in mathematics, statistics, and computing, they build models and make predictions. Using tools such as R and Python, they help their teams extract value from business datasets. The result is a solution that has a direct positive impact. Another highly technical role is the expert data analyst, whose work involves exploring vast and complex data sets to identify directions worth pursuing in the first place. They ensure that an organization's data science efforts are directed as efficiently as possible, bridging the gap between other technical data professionals and the strategic work we'll cover shortly. Like most technical data professionals, you'll learn how to acquire, scale, organize, structure, and manipulate data so that it's packaged in a way that others can work with. In other words, you'll know how to transform raw data into something useful for decision-making. Okay, now let's consider data professionals on the more strategic side. These people include business intelligence professionals and technical project managers, to name a couple. Strategic data professionals use their skills to interpret information that affects an organization's operations, finance, research and development, and so much more. Their work aligns closely to the overall business strategy and involves seeking solutions to problems through data analytics. In short, strategic data professionals maximize information to guide how a business works. Sometimes, you'll find a company has roles that blend specialist technical knowledge with strategic data expertise, often in unusual and very creative ways. Soon, we'll learn more about some of these opportunities, as well as the more specialized technical and strategic roles. And, of course, we'll discover some proven ways to tap into them as a data professional. Lots more to come. Nowadays, it seems that data is generated everywhere. Computer functions have been integrated into a multitude of everyday technologies. Smart home voice assistants, step trackers, TV streaming apps, even some coffee makers are connected. All of these touchpoints create data that businesses can use to understand trends and advance their products and services. And with every update, the ability to gather environmental and user data expands even further. Within this massive reserve of data is a wealth of untapped potential awaiting data professionals and the organizations they support. That's why these people are so in demand. Companies need them to use data to refine business strategies, meet consumer preferences, react to emerging trends, and realign internal efforts. Let's consider some examples of how data professionals use their expertise to transform industries. First, the world of big finance was an early adopter of the power of data science. And with the way information drives this industry, it's easy to understand why. Data professionals help financial institutions assess investment risks, monitor market trends, detect anomalies to reduce fraud, and create a more stable financial system overall. Hundreds of millions of financial transactions occur in the financial world each day, and data is part of each and every one of them. As another example, data analytics is key in healthcare. And here, the data benefits can actually be life-saving. For instance, the information collected by smartwatches is making a huge difference in the lives of many people. Sensors in these devices record biodata, such as heart rate and oxygen levels. And of course, all this information can be shared with healthcare professionals. Together, the patient and the physician can better understand sleep trends, stress levels, and much more. Then, individualized wellness plans can be created and modified for the patient's well-being. Plus, on a larger scale, data analytics is helping healthcare organizations process large amounts of clinical data, which supports the early detection of a health condition and leads to more precise diagnoses. Thirdly, data has a big impact in manufacturing. Data professionals predict when to perform preventative maintenance to avoid production line breakdowns, use data to maximize quality assurance and defect tracking, and artificial intelligence models help respond to logistical issues and reduce delivery truck miles on the road, advancing key sustainability goals. And in a time when supply chains reach every corner of the world, data enables clear and near real-time communication with suppliers, retailers, and other network partners. It also helps supply chains maintain optimal levels of inventory to avoid stockouts and empty retail shelves. Data professionals are also advancing approaches to agriculture. With data insights, farmers develop new ways to approach crop production, livestock care, forestry, and aquaculture. The inclusion of autonomous machinery, tractors, and irrigation systems is improving harvesting technologies as well. If you'd like to keep learning about how various industries use data analytics, refer to the course resources on this topic. And here's a little piece of advice from me. Don't miss an opportunity to learn from someone in real life. I love asking business owners, store managers, and client support professionals about how they use data each and every day. Who knows, one of these conversations could open a door to a future opportunity for you. Recently, you've been learning about how businesses use data to guide decision-making, answer questions, and solve problems. In this video, we'll investigate how nonprofits use data analysis to pursue their unique goals. Nonprofit groups are created to further a social cause or provide benefit to the public. As the name suggests, their main purpose is not about profit, but to foster a collective, public, or social advantage. There are some very rewarding and inspiring opportunities for data professionals in the nonprofit sector. In particular, data can be applied in order to help these groups more effectively anticipate and respond to the greatest areas of need. For instance, maybe a US charity that provides bicycles for children would like to determine which neighborhoods are most in need. They could ask their data professional to access the US Census Bureau. The professional would use their talents to navigate the census database, identify key metrics, and summarize findings with analyses and data visualizations. This report would highlight where there are larger numbers of school-aged children in need who would benefit from the resources of this program. And there you go. Data insights led to informed decisions about where this nonprofit can do the most good. Now nonprofits do more than use data. Many of them also collect it. As you likely know, public entities and government agencies can be excellent resources for useful data. And much of it is open data that's available for general use. As you likely know, open data is data that is available to the public. It's free to use, and guidance is provided to help navigate the datasets and acknowledge the source. While sourcing open data is a good way to interact with data on your own, there are other opportunities that enable you to refine your skills while helping others. Data volunteers contribute to many projects that help nonprofits benefit communities all over the world. To find out more, here are some organizations to check out. First, the Data Science for Social Good Foundation was launched at the University of Chicago back in 2013. In 2020, they joined forces with UNICEF to analyze various aspects of air pollution around the world to help monitor children's health. DataKind launched in 2011 in New York City with chapters in the United Kingdom, Bengaluru, San Francisco, Singapore, and Washington, D.C. This organization analyzes the cost of environmental cleanup in different underserved communities to guide restorative efforts. You can view both foundations' latest efforts through the links in the transcript for this video. Another option for putting your data skills to good use are hackathons. A hackathon is an event where data professionals and programmers come together and collaborate on a particular project. The goal is to create a solution to an existing problem using technology. Some examples include developing better tools for predicting extreme weather events, creating tech to help elementary school kids learn important reading skills, and identifying ways that community development groups can use their data to advance home accessibility and affordability. Volunteering your data skills to public projects is an excellent way to contribute to the greater good while gaining experience and networking with others in your field. Coming up, we'll take a deeper look at some data-oriented projects in the public sector and how they're making an impact around the world. One of the most important responsibilities for those of us in data-centered careers involves how we protect our organizations, manage, and protect data. This has a lot to do with communication exchanges between a company and its customers. As you've been learning, almost all communication generates data, whether it's a shopping receipt, confirmation of an order, or even earning customer loyalty points. And businesses have a big responsibility to their customers, especially when it comes to maintaining and protecting user privacy. Any data gathered from individuals or consumers is referred to as personally identifiable information, or PII. PII permits the identity of an individual to be inferred by either direct or indirect means. This includes things like biometric records, usernames, and social security or national identification numbers. Because this information is often associated with medical, financial, and employment records, PII is sensitive and must be managed with great care. After all, when someone's personal data is improperly handled, they become vulnerable to identity theft, fraud, and other issues. Recently, there have been great efforts to take a wider view of data collection practices and protect individuals. Industries are trending towards aggregate information. This is data from a significant number of users that has eliminated personal information. By aggregating the data and removing PII, this protects people and gives them more control over their own data. Similarly, as more industries become interconnected, the amount of data available to them increases. And just as with aggregate information, the more data collected, the more likely it is that it will be representative of a wider population rather than a single user. A key thing to keep in mind is that data gathering is a task managed by humans. And that process can be informed by different backgrounds, experiences, beliefs, and worldviews. These and other types of biases can affect the way that data is communicated and how the results are shared, which in turn can have an impact on business decisions. Effective data professionals know that, whether collecting, analyzing, interpreting, or communicating sensitive data, bias should always be considered. So be very careful when interpreting data where there is a clear source of bias, and be on the lookout for subtle biases as well. In addition to thinking through bias in the data, data professionals should also try to emphasize that there can be a multitude of possible interpretations for every data insight. So the main trick is avoid jumping to conclusions until you've really done your homework. One method of addressing bias is to make sure that the data that you're working with has the same characteristics as the greater population that you're interested in. In data analytics, this is called a sample. A good sample is a segment of a population that is representative of that entire population. Here's an example. A clothing company is analyzing sales in their highest growth market. They want to determine what color shirts will be most popular in the upcoming season. One person notes that red and blue shirts accounted for 80% of their sales in this market over the past 3 months. This is a big number, so they suggest ordering lots of red and blue shirts. But another person points out that the local sports team's colors are red and blue, and this team had recently won a championship. It's very likely that sales of red and blue shirts will have spiked as consumers purchase tees to support the local team. Plus, they note that although this market is high growth, it only represents 40% of the retailer's total sales. With all this information in mind, decision makers at this retailer instead choose to evaluate color popularity over a full year and across all markets. This will provide a much more complete picture. We'll investigate more about bias later in this program. And as you progress, you'll discover many more strategies for ensuring that you're aware of bias and proactively working to counter it in all of your data work. When investigating a possible new career path, one of the most important things to consider is its outlook and potential for growth. Predictions about careers related to data analysis show that there is no shortage of need for professionals in this field. Over the last decade, data-focused careers have surged. According to estimates by LinkedIn, the data science field grew by over 650% between 2012 and 2017. Many experts believe that we have not yet seen the full potential of these careers. In fact, the US Bureau of Labor Statistics stated that data science is one of the fastest growing career fields in the United States, projecting a 30% increase over the next decade. Among the data science professions, one of the fastest growing is artificial intelligence and machine learning, and we've seen significant advances in these areas in recent years. At its core, artificial intelligence, or AI, is the development of computer systems able to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence. Thanks to growth in the data sciences, AI is now becoming more commonplace. These technologies will continue to evolve and provide more accurate results and richer insights. And as AI increasingly becomes an essential component of data work, it's important to be aware of the human bias that can be imprinted within your work. To counter this, organizations benefit most from building diverse teams of professionals from different backgrounds and different life experiences. Incorporating a wide range of perspectives and worldviews promotes wider representation and yields more accurate results. As we study the future of the data professions, I want to emphasize that data professionals have yet to realize the full potential of artificial intelligence. As these types of technological innovations continue to evolve, we can expect that organizations will grow and adapt their business practices accordingly. With wider and wider adoption of data analysis techniques, the most likely area for growth is in specialization, and we expect to see further subdivision of roles within data-focused teams. Ultimately, what I want you to keep in mind is this. The world is generating more and more data every year, so it's reasonable to expect labor that extracts business value from it to be able to earn its keep. More data means more demand for the three main activities covered by the data professions: statistical inference, machine learning, and data analytics. So those skills will stay very relevant, though their names might evolve over time. In addition, constant innovation in the field offers you the opportunity for perpetual learning, growth, and development. As you may already know, being a data professional means that your growth and success in this field depend on a desire to keep learning. In fact, that just might be the reason you enrolled in this program. And for that, I'm so proud of you. Continue to explore opportunities to evolve throughout your career. Be proactive in acquiring new skills. Keep growing, and you will always be ready for the future. In this section of the course, we explored many different facets of data careers. You learned that data professional is a broad term that encompasses different roles and responsibilities in the data space. You discovered that the work we do in this field involves countless possibilities, such as determining important data streams, identifying and focusing on future business goals, and reimagining internal and external processes. You also thought about some of the ways that organizations are being transformed by data professionals and how these talented individuals use their skills to positively impact communities around the world. You've come so far already, but there's so much more to learn. Thanks for joining me on this exciting exploration, and I'll catch up with you again soon.